to it just because I know that the beginning of the stream, it just starts streaming out there. Some of the streams kind of get in a little bit late, so I've kind of delayed a little bit getting started, but I'm not going to do that here. Anyway, I got an email from the from the Google Search Console team. And basically they said that there's unparsable structured data issues detected on devchat.tv. And so I clicked the link to come in here, and you can see here that it's missing a comma or a close brace. And if you look, you can see right here that this is the problem, that it's, this is what it's doing. And if I click on it, there we go. So there's the one instance, and you can see here that it's got this structured data here. We just did an episode on devchat.tv, and or on devchat.tv. Of course, it was on devchat.tv. We did it on JavaScript Jabber. Sorry, I'm a little bit tired. I'm still recovering a little bit from the marathon that I ran on Saturday. So anyway, so yeah, so what is Gitcoin? What is CodeFund? And then it's what are the problems paying people with real currency, right? Because we talked about how blockchain and cryptocurrencies fit into the landscape of open source sustainability. And you can see right here that we've got an actual quote character and it's not escaped. So that's the problem. And if you look on devchat.tv, you can see, let's see, it's in... so all of my stuff is in source. If you want to contribute to this, you can. It's on it's on GitHub. So anyway, let's go ahead and close all this stuff up real quick. It's going to be here. It's going to be in the includes, and it's in the layout. It's in the post layout. So all posts on devchat.tv can add this stuff in. And this right here, let me make this full screen. So this section right here is the structured data, and what it does, let me see if I can just show you here real quick. So let's do a quick search here for Node 12, JavaScript, Jabber. So you can see here, it's got this, and then the structured data provides these questions and answers. So you can see, anyway, so my team puts these questions and answers together. And yeah, so you kind of get the idea. So you get all this stuff. Incidentally, I'm also really excited about this, right? So you can see the podcast. So yeah, and then you can actually click through and play them right here in Google. Anyway, I need to move my hand away from the front of my mouth. So anyway, you kind of get the idea. We haven't done it on the older episodes yet, so you don't see those things there. Anyway, so yeah, so it puts these questions in, but yeah, if you do the you can see here what is blockchain. So this is different. Sustaining open source with Eric Berry. This is the episode. Anyway, I don't think these are coming from my my questions, because as you could see from this, it asks what is Gitcoin, what is CodeFund, what are problems paying in real currency, and how does the Gitcoin bounty network work, right? So you get the idea. That's what it's putting together with, and it's showing you all the other stuff that's on that in the HTML on that page. So yeah, so what we have to do is we have to fix that quoting issue, and the issue is you can give it these in eleventy or in Nunjux. I think it's a Nunjux feature actually. Not 100% sure on that, but I'm pretty close. You give it this filter, and then the filter filters whatever this comes in as, right? So it parses this as a string, and then it runs it through the safe command. And the safe command basically escapes stuff. So what I'm going to do here real quick is I'm just going to remove the safe commands. I don't think this is going to solve the problem for me, but I'm going to give it a shot because it's a lot easier than writing a new filter. And then if it doesn't work, then I'll have to write a new filter. And I've looked up because what I needed to know was essentially how do you escape, like how do you put escaped strings into strings, right? Because it's going to escape the quotes in the string so that it can be displayed with the quotes in it, but I need it to be escaped here too. So anyway, that's a little bit tricky. I honestly don't think that pipe safe is helping us at all. Wow, I haven't done... let me see. I think I have... build command. It's executing eleventy, but I think it's going to blow chunks because the eleventy command is... Anyway, it only uses 2 gigs of memory, and we have so many pages in here that it just overruns the memory. We'll see if it works, and in the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and start writing this. I'm going to close some of these. So anyway, so let's go ahead and you put all your filters here in eleventy.js, eleventy.js, or .eleventy.js. That was not awesome. Okay, .eleventy.js. There we go. So, I've got collections here for published and podcast. I need to fix the collection for blogs, incidentally, but that's another issue. So you've got this add filter head, right? And so we're just gonna make a copy of it. And I'm just gonna do string, and we're gonna call this escape quotes. And then I'll just change the body here. So it's going to be return. And then I cheated and I actually looked up on Stack Overflow because, yeah, that escaping is just what? So, and if I put the escape, just one escape backslash in, then it's going to, it'll still have the same problem. So you have to put the double in. And I was just not clear on what the correct procedure is. I also see that is ST instead of STR, so I'll have to change that. But yeah, so that should fix that. Anyway, you can see here, could not resolve pagination key. Oh, that's not good. You know what? Data therapy isn't actually publishing at the moment. And I'm using Git, so I'm just going to... Can I delete it? I can delete the whole folder. Okay, so... And then I'm also going to configure tasks. I'm just going to make sure that this is running properly. So yeah, so it calls eleventy, and what I want it to do is, there's a command I've been running in the past, so, and I don't remember how to search back through this other than just to hit up. So you can see I've been running other stuff. There is a way to do this in Bash where you just search your previous commands. You can search your history for a command, and it's this right here. So I'm just gonna, so I don't have to follow, or I don't have to remember it anymore. But then Command Shift B will actually run that. And so it'll run it. But that should do it. Oh, I guess I should put that on these. So let's go ahead and see what it does. This is probably going to take a minute. But yeah, so once this is fixed, then I can deploy it. And I'll just walk you through some of this stuff here real quick. What is this? Oh, that's okay. That's run task. Okay. So it's running that task. When we're done, and I could actually put this in a branch, right? Because everything's on Netlify. So if I log in, you know, Chapow, it's right here. So, yeah, so when I push to get, it just deploys up here. But I want to see if it's going to work first. Now, I could also push it to a branch and then have Netlify build it. But I don't want to screw around with that stuff. No fun. So I'm not going to. You can see now that it's building. It built the robots.txt file. It built the sitemap, and it built this JavaScript file that I didn't have another great way of doing it. I guess I could have just put the file in without the nunjux extension and then just told, because in eleventy you can also tell it to pass through. So it passed through copies on these folders and on this file. So I could probably clean that up. It looks like it's built. So what I'm going to look at now is I'll just look it up in here. So site, it's going to be in Adventures in Blockchain, which there aren't that many of, to be honest. It's going to be, oh, that's right. I forgot this folder structure here. So right here. So you can see now it's escaping it. What are the problems paying people with, quote, real, quote, currency? Of course, that might work. I don't know. I don't actually know. And I'm kind of tempted to just pull them out, but I want my team to be able to put them in if I need them to, right? So if they say, you know, what's the blah, blah, blah of the saying, quote, blah, 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 quote, right? So I'm kind of tempted to leave that in. If not, I could actually just make it escape the quotes, right? And the way that I would do that is I would just put in a pipe escape quotes. And so I think I might just do that anyway. I'm sure Google is smart enough to figure it out with, you know, the actual quote, quote. So I think I'll probably just leave it. So then what we do is we push this. And that should do it. Fix quotes in the FAQ structured data on posts. And then I'm also going to push this in. Just so that I have it. And then I also want to push this for anyone else. So yeah, so that's all good. Then we slam that in there and it gets sent up to Netlify. So it's all pushed. Now if we come back over to Netlify, Sometimes it'll update here. Sometimes it takes a minute to show up. So I'm just going to refresh it because I'm late. I'm not patient. I'm not lazy. I'm just not patient. So yeah, so it's building, and it'll probably take a minute or three. I've kind of played that same memory game on Netlify, and it seems to be working for now. But I think they have a limit of 1.5 gig of RAM to 2 gig of RAM, and so before I gave it the memory flag that I have here in my task. I'm going to close that. Before I use this command, it would build probably 1 in 4 times. And it's just because if you look at our stuff here, so this not included, but all of these are different shows and a blog. And some of the shows like Ruby Rogues, JavaScript Jabber, iFreaks, they all have like 250 plus episodes. Ruby Rogues has had more than 400 episodes. No, JavaScript Jabber's had more than 400 episodes. We just did 400. Ruby Rogues has, we're getting up to like 435, 450-ish. So you kind of get the idea. Some of these shows have, 200 or so episodes. And so what that does is it means that we have a couple thousand podcast episodes that all have pages to be built in here. And when we run this, especially if we update any of the templates in here, and I need to reorganize this a little bit and clean it up, then we have a problem. And so, yeah, so I need to do that and just fix that up. So anyway, sometimes the build takes a few minutes, and sometimes it goes through right away. So it's been running for about 2 minutes. You can see here, yeah, so it got through the first 3 of these. I really ought to clean that up while I'm sitting here waiting, so let's go ahead and do that. Well, it's in the folder. So, I mean, I could stick it out here and then tell it to pass through copy, but that's kind of ugly. And in the base, let me just look at this real quick. What's that called? It's required Firebase messaging. Yeah, see, it's not in there. So what that does, and that means that some other JavaScript that I have embedded in the page is actually doing that work. What it does is it provides, I think it's part of, not that one. And it's not ActiveCampaign either. I forget what it's called. It's subscribers. Anyway, there we go. It's this one right here. So what this does is it's the one that if you go to devchat.tv and it pops up, okay, it's done now. And it says, do you want to allow notifications? It's the bit that actually does that work. So, or it tells you that you can get push notifications, allows you to get the push notifications. All right, so I'm pretty sure that this is fixed, so I'm going to click validate fix. And sometimes this works, and sometimes it takes a few minutes. But yeah, so it's just one issue. I want people to be able to find this stuff, especially since Gitcoin and CodeFund are really cool issues. Okay, validation started, which means that it hasn't finished. So the worst I've seen it is it takes a few hours. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, that should fix it up. And if it doesn't, then I'll go back and I'll actually use that quote. This is the only live streaming I'm going to do today because I've got a podcast in an hour, and I've got a bunch of stuff that I didn't get to yesterday because my wife wasn't doing well. She's better today, but yeah, I didn't get the stuff done that I needed to. So we'll see how that goes. If nothing else, it should be a different error here, right? Because those quotes aren't there anymore. So yeah, and I like this for, figuring out what some of the search issues are going to be. So yeah, so you can also just dive into some of these other issues and see what they are. And yeah, we'll tackle them one at a time. So anyway, you can also see that the crawler is their smartphone crawler. And what that means is that it kind of crawls it to see how mobile friendly it is. And so it'll actually tell you what some of the issues are. So I have some issues where, it doesn't like the text size. And you can see that this is kind of across all kinds of different things. So it's probably an issue that in like all the pages. It's just that's where it picked it up. And then, yeah, anyway. So there are no issues with breadcrumbs, no issues with FAQ, which is what that structured data actually does. No issues with the logos. Side link search box. I don't know what that is. I should probably look. And then the unparsable structured data. So that's what that is. And yeah, you can look and see what some of the other deals are here. But yeah, so some of the mobile usability issues I'm going to be fixing. Actually, I have somebody else that's working on it for me, but should be fixing these up over the next few days and getting that fixed up. And then, I've got some issues with the Algolia search and stuff like that. So, and essentially what I need to do is I need to isolate the transcript from the show notes, because the show note or the transcripts are too long. And then I actually need somebody to go in and actually clean up the transcripts as well. I may see if I can implement some kind of script that can do it, because the people who are speaking in the transcripts are in bold. And so if you look here, let me pick a longer running show. I don't know if this one has, yeah, see, you have a transcript. So it's all, it all has that in front of it. So what I can do is I can actually, and I'd have to look up again how to do it, but then just do a search so that it's basically, if it's a white space right before the double star, then replace that with a new line or two new lines, so that these all get put into p tags, and then it puts it all in. But yeah, so that's another thing to figure out. But yeah, then what it'll do is it'll actually, break all that down so that it looks about right. The other thing is anything that's in like this pause, it should be on its own line as well. So anyway, I've got to figure that out. But yeah, we'll do that later. So anyway, I don't think I changed anything here, did I? Nope. So those are the 3 files I removed. I may put them back. We'll see. But yeah, you can actually undo them with one of these. So yeah, discard changes and it'll pull the file back over. So anyway, that's it. Hope you enjoyed the stream. And yeah, hopefully I hear back that this sucker got fixed here pretty quick. So yeah, it's still started. So all right, that's it. More tomorrow.